What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. Ooh, I made it, y'all. I made it. Oh, hey, Motown Investor. Hey, El Cid. Ugh, y'all, I came straight from the job, straight over here, to this review. So if I'm discombobulated, it is what it is, y'all. El Cid says to like, share, and subscribe. I would love for you to like, share, and subscribe the video. I'm on my road to 1,658. Every time I come over here, I got a number that's a little bit higher than the last one. So, I'm going to go ahead and feel grateful for that. And we're going to get into this work. Whew. Did y'all enjoy the episode? I'm an NFL girl. So I do like the theme that they had going on this week. But before we get into that, anybody surprised by the outcome of who's out? Bow out. Yang, 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 yang. She out too. Oclavius, how you say? Octavius. Octavius, he's no longer with us. And yeah, what's this girl, Danny? Not sorry to see her go. I'm not surprised at the outcome. I kind of figured this is what we were going to be doing, especially after homeboy. I'm not going to be able to remember anybody's name. So there's that. Ponytail, side swoop. He, went ahead. Brian, I think that's his name. He went in and gave his heartfelt speech about how, this man B will be there for you if you need him. I feel like I know who needs him. It's Brian. Brian needs B. So yeah, B is still here, and his personality, even though it's not project personality, it's gonna be still, B's personality over here. Hello, Lotus Egyptian Flower. Were y'all surprised by the outcome? Did you guys think it was gonna be Bow or B? That's how I felt about it. It was going to be Bow, B, Bow, B. So we ended up with B. And, I'm not mad at it. Octavius is doing well. He captured Law Roach's heart. I mean, I feel like that, sometimes it's not necessarily about the winner. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's definitely, what the hell? I just lost y'all. There you are. Sometimes it's definitely about the connections. So if he can go in here and forge a connection with La Roche, that jacket was something else. So I'm not surprised that that's what happened. Oh my God. Can y'all hear that? Get that out of here. I'm not surprised that, he will be designing for him. And that's the whole point of coming over here and, getting all of these people, first of all. Octavius is not new to the red carpet. He was over here, doing Academy Award winning tuxedos. So I feel like all of these people over here have already, designed for well-known celebrities or what have you. So he's definitely not out of his lane. It's not a lane that he hasn't been in. So yeah, that's, amazing. If you could walk out of there with a connection to any of them, that's the best position to find yourself in. Hey, to go to Africa, ciao. I was rushing in here from the job. So we at the beginning of the game. We at the very beginning. So yeah, B is out. And B is in and the rest of them are out. This is a double elimination. So I'm guessing it has a lot to do with how many episodes that these people have, gotten. And I appreciate, honestly, them, loading us up with some different talent, even if they don't get to stay long. We do get a chance to see, more talent, because the last season was very much lacking in talent. And I think it's these people have these opportunities, to dress these celebrities, which more than likely, like, I don't know how they get paid, but it's a one-off. Even if you're getting paid for, designing and that coat, you know what I'm saying, or a piece, a look for a celebrity, then it's definitely a good it's a good look. It's putting you on a platform where you're going to see more eyes, but it's not necessarily income. It's not your business. It's just, any designer, I think, with the being at the right place in the right time, can have the opportunity to dress a celebrity. But having your brand be something bigger than that, that's a different story. So, if you're going to be over here on the red carpet and La Roche is going to be pulling looks from your collection, yeah, that's the bomb diggity. Octavius has been around for a while, so I feel like he's probably already got the business section set up and ready to run. The rest of these people, I don't know. Bao already, she came in second in the Who's Up Next or whatever that was on Netflix, that was there to tide us over until we got to some more Project Runway. I like that one too, though. I think there's 2 seasons. The first season, Offset was one of the judges. I can't remember who else was there. I prefer the first season to the second season, but yeah, I remember Bao. I don't remember much about her designs, so there's that. It is what it is. I remember that black dress that she had on Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, so B's in, Bao's out. The rest of these people, they out too. Yin Yang and Yang Yang and Yang a Lang a Lang, and all of those people are gone. So this week's challenge is to create a look for the NFL. And for some of the designers, I think we are starting to see their perspective, their point of view. That's what they're over here we're supposed to understand that when your look comes out on the runway, people can tell that this is your brand. You know what I'm saying? Some of these designers are a little bit ahead of the game than others. Yeah, so team challenges, that can go good or bad depending on who you got over here. And it seems like these snarky people, came over here and they getting their asses handed to them for being so darn snarky. What's her name? Because I told you I don't know anybody's name. We'll get to it. Anyway, she was down to the workroom. Teams. We picking teams. Who was the first one? I think it was Joseph McCrae. Was he the first one? They picked the leaders out of the button bag. That's what they did. It's all coming back to me now. They picked the leaders out of the button bag for these teams. And Joseph McCrae's name got pulled out of that bag. And if that isn't a setup, then I don't know what is. But I feel like Joseph McCrae will be here to the end. That's just my prediction. I don't know. We still just getting started. But the way they kicking 2 and 3 people off at a time, we don't know, how long people are going to be around. But I'm seeing a lot of Joseph McCrae. I did follow them, some of them, before the season started, but still, I feel like we're seeing a lot of Joseph McCrae's commentary along the way. So if he doesn't make it to the end, I feel like he's going to go very far. I just feel like there's been a lot invested in Joseph. So far, I said when we started, I said, if Joseph could step up to the challenge, I'm here. I'm with it because I do like his perspective. I do like his point of view. He's got some interesting silhouettes. He's doing something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And you grow as a designer. And I'm definitely seeing the growth. I feel like he's a lot more put together than he was. You know what I'm saying? You could go back and you can be in your feelings about what these people said, or you can improve on your skills. And as far as being technically good, and that's a requirement over here, I feel like the only way to become technically better as a sewer is to keep sewing. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep sewing and learn and, make mistakes and see, where to switch things around. Um, we know that he will be there for at least 2 more weeks because he has immunity. Now, that's what I did not, I wasn't clear on that. I know he gets to go to the Super Bowl. So, does he get tickets to the Super Bowl and immunity? I hope so. I hope he gets immunity because he got a lot of hate for no reason. Like, there's a lot of Joseph McCrae's name is in everybody's mouth. I don't know why. Every time they get over to their confessionals, that they talking about him in a way, and it's not good. And I guess I feel like there's a way to be cheeky and without disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And the way they coming to him, like, I want Joseph McCrae. I hope he does. I hope he has immunity, just because every time he has less pressure, it puts the pressure on them that's running their mouth. So anyway, what is this girl's name? Is it Robbie? No, Robbie's gone. Danny's gone. Is she Bobby? Oh my goodness, there's so many of them. Anyway, she's down to the workroom crying. So Joseph McCrae is one of the captains. Who does he pick for his team? We got Joseph McCrae, we got Naeem, and we've got Aaron. Couldn't have picked a better, dream team for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see these guys come together, work together, and I am very much impressed with what they did over there. I was not surprised that Joseph can be a good leader because he did it before. You know what I'm saying? He was already over there last season dealing with that foolishness of, I feel like last season they had group after group after group. Joseph called out Audrey's lack of leadership with his class of shade. He did. He called out his lack of leadership, and without talking about his, like, he's had good things to say about his look. So there was nothing negative said about his look. Bobby, that's her dang name. He was talking about his lack of leadership. Audrey is the one that's quite snarky behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Judgmental. He has no respect, clearly, by the way he's acting for, Joseph McCrae's designs. But I feel like a lot of times, haters gonna hate, and that's how that's gonna go. He's also very young, and I feel like in the workplace, not even in this situation, it's been my experience that in the workplace, the person that wants to be the leader all the time has no business being the leader. That person that's first wants to run, raise their hand and be the leader all the time, that's usually the person that should not be the leader. But him and Bobby both, I feel like, should not have been the leader. We talking about him. We might as well bring him on over here. We got Bobby, we got Jude, and we got Audrey. What was their team? This is a problem. We don't know who their damn team is. Is it the Eagles? I don't know. I can't tell. And none of this is what they're wearing by any means. It doesn't say whatever team. I feel like that's important. If you're going to be creating a design for a team, then you should be able to recognize the team. Yeah. Does that look like Eagles to you? Because it don't look like Eagles to me. It looks like some brown stuff mixed with some black stuff. You must be a great team player and a good follower to be a good leader. And you know what? To go to Africa, it's been my experience that based on the way I carry myself at my job, people are always requiring it. And it's not even a position I usually like to take because leadership requires too much of my time. However, in a position with like this, I feel like, except for Jude, who's very quiet and shy, in a position like this, like he said, next time I won't pick somebody that wants to be a leader. I don't think that's a problem necessarily, but you're going to have to assert yourself as a leader. He's a baby. What are he going to lead somebody to? He just thought they were supposed to go over there and make designs together. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't very interested in leading. Honestly, I feel like Bobby was in the right direction, but she got all up in her feelings and let this boy get the best of her. And he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. He was the leader. Um, he probably could have done better on giving direction. I'll give her that. But and I don't know that they spent enough time brainstorming. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be a team, you got to come up with, you know what I'm saying, a theme. Be on the same accord at least. I didn't see them doing too much of that. And the fabric store, him and Jude were more on the same page, I think, as a leader. In the fabric store, he probably could have been listening more as a leader to, you know, his designers. So, but you know, I think I'm not sure why he decided he wanted to take the leadership position, because he's clearly not, he wasn't ready to do it. Now, her doing all that critiquing of his designs would piss me off. If I'm in the middle of my creative space, then give me a minute and I'll figure it out. But you doing all this critiquing, and you know, it's making me irritated. So I don't really want to talk to you like that. And you was my friend. So, and now I'm not even feeling very friendly with you anymore. They bonded on bullshit. That's why they falling out. But at the end of the day, I think if he would have like just took a beat and at least allow her to be heard. I don't know what she was fighting for, but they do not seem like they're very much on a different page. Like when I look at his look and her look, I can see where it looks like the same kind of um what do they call it? Collection. It looks like the same collection. It's missing eagles, that's for damn sure. And then Jude, who has been my top like for the first 2 weeks. Well, he wasn't in my top, but he's definitely in my top three. Um, I don't like anything about this. This doesn't say football. This brown sleeve and black sleeve, and I don't like that skirt. There's so many angles. What do Christians say? It's a lot of look, Jude. And I don't want any more suits out of you. I want to see you do something else. Can you make a pair of pants? Do something else. I don't want to see this peplum jacket again. Not in any different form. The jacket actually would have been better without the sleeve. Maybe he should have put a shoulder pad on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been giving a little more football. Anyway, you said I didn't see the common thread in their designs. There isn't one because they weren't talking. And you know, Jude is pretty much like, I'm not the leader of any of this, and I don't blame him. That was a time for him to fall back and, you know, do his thing. But he's so tight up. Like he didn't in this situation, he didn't reference football. He just made another tailored suit that was not very flattering. I will say, if y'all heard that, for God's sake, somebody clearly still has. Maybe that was somebody's car. I'm like, I know they're not still doing 4th of July. Audrey's jacket, I don't hate it. I just don't like the proportion of the shoulders. I'm not sure if that was a critique. I don't remember what the critique was, you know, from the judges, but I do feel like he has something going there, but those proportions on them shoulders is throwing the whole thing off. So while you were over there in your corner being snarky, you could have made those shoulders just a little bit wider to give it a bit better silhouette. Anyway, these guys ended up on the bottom, and there's no immunity left over here. You think Jude's suit would have been better in an athletic type of fabric and had, Yeah, I mean, a hoodie would make it football. I think all three of them need to make it look like the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know why they bought brown fabric. Maybe they were referencing a football. But if you're hired by this team, you need to make it look like the team. I just should have told the judges she was. You think he should have told on her? I don't know that they would like that. He's gonna have to figure out a way to defend himself. Is that part over that they already defend themselves? Because she did a good job of defending herself. She was pissing me off when she was crying. I was like, he wasn't antagonizing her in any way. He was like, yeah, I guess, child. So all he said was, when you want to offer some constructive criticism, maybe you should be a little bit nicer. And I don't feel like that's a wrong thing to say. You know what I'm saying? So maybe she should look at herself. You know what I'm saying? All that crying was irritating me. Girl, focus on your shit. What do you want him to do? Come hold your hand? At the end of the day, they were definitely missing some conversations. There was no cohesion over here. The crybaby wasted her time trying to copy Joseph's style. Is that what happened, Motown investor? Is he an inspiration over here? Because who was that saying Joseph McCrae? All he do is make pillows. That's what I heard one of them say. Everybody got a little puffer thing going on. Even Audrey with his little version of this little puffer jacket. His proportions got off. Maybe he should have gone big like Joseph McCrae. Motown investor, no, you had me going in on that boy. And that ain't really what I came over here for. So yeah, they're on the bottom. They deserve to be on the bottom. I don't like any of them. So y'all, back to the drawing board. And it's always interesting, like I said, when we get teams, because now we got to see how all these smart ass mouth people. Let's get to this one. These guys were on the bottom too, also as well. You said, yep, they all made pillows and comforters. Huh. I sure hope he has immunity. Does he have immunity, Elsid, or did he just win football tickets? You said based on their creations on this show, all three could go home. Well, two are going. Two are going. Let's go through. Well, I can tell you what, y'all be going in for Chloe. Y'all have loved Chloe every week. I have not been feeling Chloe, not one of these times ever. Chloe can't sew. So, and I feel like she doesn't do good with proportions. So if it's not a stick figure lady with, mosquito bite titties that can wear a shirt that doesn't have any straps or, an entire back, that's her, kind of model. Now she got a curvy girl. Who is their team? They are, I feel like the Falcons came. They're the Falcons. These are the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like Anna had it right. And Anna will be here to the end too. That's my prediction right now. How many finalists do they have? 3 right now. I'm putting Joseph McCrae. This is the runway I want to see. Joseph McCrae, Anna, Naeem, and I'm gonna reserve my last don't they have 4? They should have 4. Anyway, I can't remember. Chloe, like I said, I don't see that's Chloe can sew. I don't know what her point of view is even. She just likes to leave the back out. And whatever she did, like she just threw some blue fabric on this lady and, tied a band around her waist. I feel like anybody could do that doesn't sew. So, yeah, Chloe can't sew. Her technical skills suck. She has 3 patterns. Am I being too harsh on Chloe? She needs to improve her technical skills. That's what I would say. So, when it comes to construction, all these people that, you know what I'm saying? Jeffrey does a lot, but Jeffrey's construction skills, they are absolutely there. The ribbon sent me the ribbon on the back of that. Yeah, she just she had I don't know. I guess it was supposed to be a corset. And your model is standing next to two other corsets that are, I mean, constructed quite well. So you can't just tie a belt around that lady. She got that from the accessory wall, and I'm guessing she made the ribbon herself. Anyway, never been a Chloe fan. Still not a Chloe fan. As far as I'm concerned, Chloe can go. Um, Anna, like I said, she's one of my faves. This lady does look rich. I didn't notice it first. Because that runway goes by so fast, but this skirt is just enough sheer, it's giving the illusion, and that's still in right now, the whole illusion thing. But it's not so much, you know what I mean? It's almost like a sculpture the way she put that thing on there. I like that Anna. And she's just so nice and just be focused on her own thing, and she don't be sitting around talk shit about people, because that's a waste of time. Yeah, the fit is impeccable. The back, I had a picture of the back, but child, the way I ran in here trying to get set up for this live. The back was corseted so nice. So yeah, Anna is definitely one of my tops. Jeffrey did an incredible job for only having one day to complete it. I feel like Jeffrey's issue is, and I'm very glad that for those people, like, he designs for the people over there on drag, but on the drag race, RuPaul's drag race, but that's still, he's a part of the family over there. And so I feel like, first of all, they're very used to having to make shit on the fly over there. So he's used to that, I'm sure. Um, when you have a lot of ideas and you're in a certain framework of people, you have to like I said, a fashion is to be studied. And so there's one thing to be able to be skillful in your sewing. It's another thing to be able to put together a look. You said Anna is classy and could be worn by people with different body types. Yeah. It's ugly. What's ugly, Jeffrey or Chloe? I feel like I'm gonna give Jeffrey credit for his construction, because his construction is impeccable. I'm also gonna give him credit for, it looks like sports stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting football. He got the Falcon colors on there. If I would have done this though, I would have probably made that skirt like all the way down, just make it a whole like Jessica Rabbit moment. You know what I'm saying? Because it probably would have just made it a little more elegant. I'm not a fan of how, I'm not even mad at the little peekaboo things where her little chichas hang out on the side. I'm not mad at that. It's just the line of the bottom of the skirt. I wish the skirt was just long. Football is generally in the winter time. You know what I'm saying? Or it could have been, well, if it had been pants, they would have said it looks too literally like a football uniform. But Jeffrey's his technical skills are up there. I think Jeffrey's just dress achieved the objective for the challenge. It was related to football challenge. I agree, to go to Africa. I just wish that skirt was like a trumpet skirt all the way down long. You know what I'm saying? Just give it a little more glamour instead of the thighs and things. But like you said, it's football, so that's just a matter of opinion, to be honest. Anna's outfit is ugly. It's rolled up t-shirt. Oh, I mean, we all can have our own opinion to go to Africa. I like Anna's look a lot. It's one of my faves. Again, I'm very impressed by the technical skills. Like, she's got a perfectly made corset, and in one day. In one day. When you sew, you realize like how much work they put in such a short amount of time. So yeah, these three are on the bottom. like I said, Chloe can go. I would keep Jeffrey. I think he just had the misfortune of, being on the same team with Chloe. With Chloe. Anyway, on to the next. These were top two. And what I say, why are they top two? They could probably thank B for that. Um, Brian, it's giving Joseph McCrae. That's all I have to say. It's giving Puffer. It's giving, yeah. And I'm not talking about Joseph McCrae season 21. I'm talking about, this looks like Joseph McCrae 21. Just, a big square with a circle cut in it. And that little bitty top. There's no design to it. Brian talks a whole lot of shit, but I feel like his sewing skills are subpar as well. That's why he's over here crying to have B come help him. B, don't help him. Make him do it on his own this time. He walking around calling you his assistant intern. Don't let him do it, B. Just make sure, you might want to give him a little, nah, I wouldn't do it like that, or, a little constructive criticism. I don't need you and your mathematical skills nowhere near his table. Because as far as I could tell, he know how to cut a square. I did see a dress on his page. It was really pretty. Well, it looked like art. But, but with this same woven, whatever this is that he likes to use. What's this girl's name? Rachel. I never remember the names of the people that I don't care for. She's very impressed with herself. She also made a square. It doesn't say Joseph McCrae. It says, I don't know, deck of cards makes me want to play spades. Who is their team? Are they the Falcons or are the other people? No, these ones are the Falcons. They followed through with Falcons colors, so I'm not mad at that. And yeah, she macrameed a square and calls it a dress. And so, she's very impressed with herself, but she usually is. B is the top of this team. If B and Anna would have switched places, Chloe. If B and Chloe would have switched places and B would have been on that team over there with Jeffrey and Anna, they might have been in the top two. Elizabeth did, yeah, that's her name, Elizabeth. Hopefully she won't be here long, but I feel like she will be, just because they need some drama over there in the room. She'll make it at least halfway. Elizabeth did a checker flag without getting listen, doesn't it look like, we about to be down for the races over there? She got the wrong sports team. She's so proud of herself. But if we had put B over here, where they at? If we had put B over here in place of Chloe, this might have been a team, in the top two. I'm still like my other team the best, but yeah, if B would have been on this team, they would have probably been top two. B is the best of them. That's why he was over there crying. No, I feel like he's always there for people and, there for you because you seemingly need an intern. Meanwhile, B is over here pleating 35 yards of fabric to this dress. And I like this dress. I feel like this is right up my alley. Out of all these things, I would wear that dress. Child. Let's see. And then we have the winning team. This was a dream team. I'm so happy to see this. I was so happy to see this. I'm loving how they, they put the melanated collection together to come show the people. So Joseph McCrae comes out with a very, very nice cut of slacks. I feel like anybody could wear those too. Those wide leg slacks are very in. And you can see that Carolina Panther. So you know which team it is. That shirt. seems as though he's, like I said, improved his technical skills. I'm not mad at it. You get some good technical skills mixed together with some interesting shapes, and yeah, that's what he, blackety black, black, black. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is my favorite team right here. Um, I was not sure how I was gonna feel about that dress. I appreciate Mr. Potts over here referencing the Geechee culture, and that's what I'm talking about. You have to know your history. You can't just go over here, Mr. I think I know everything. I want to be a leader, Audrey. Andre, whatever his name is. We talking about Aaron Potts over here. I wasn't sure about this, but the way he kept her booty cheeks from being out, like, I don't know whether she's in a jumper or how that is so cute. I feel like this girl is a fun girl and would definitely wear this to a game, especially when you got them good tickets up in the skybox. She gonna look cute in all the pictures. And she's tall, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. This was very much on theme. And I love how Joseph supported him. Christian came over there. Like I said, you got to be careful letting Christian get in your head. You got to be careful. He is a designer. You know what I'm saying? Tim Gunn came with a different point of view. And I love them both. But Tim Gunn came with, I feel like, advice that would push the designer to, in their own aesthetic, push them to work, push harder, not go over there and have them left confused. I don't know about that. Are you sure about that? Okay. And then walk away. And then they're like, what? I don't know. And, Joseph was like, I see it. Like, Christian, I appreciate your point of view, but yeah, I see the vision. And I love that Naeem has the opportunity to work together with such a polished designer with a lot of history. And Naeem's father was a fashion designer, so he probably got a lot of history too. He's probably very smart. And then, Joseph McCrae with this very modern point of view. This is a dream team right here. You said, yes, I love the collection of what was presented. Gully Gucci reference made me love Aaron's. Yeah, he's giving you, that's why they kept him around, even though, that little two-piece that he put together last week was very questionable. But yeah, he got a blessing based on his knowledge. So yeah, I love this. And then Naeem's look is different. It's also modern. I feel like I'm learning his aesthetic. He's very much warrior, post-apocalyptic vibe. And I feel like being around Aaron and Joseph is going to help him level up in terms of his design. You know what I'm saying? Get a little bit so much out of his reference. I like it. Just find his niche. And I will say, when his looks come down the runway, you definitely know it's his. You can see his point of view. And yeah, I'm liking this friendship. And I don't foresee any mess. I don't think Mr. Potts does mess. And I think Joseph McCrae, he respect when respect is due. So yeah, that was the looks. They're gonna get rid of two of these people. Who do you think should go? I said Chloe can definitely go. Who would be my next person? I don't want to see Bobby go with her bad attitude. I feel like there's something in her. She just, got caught up in this whole thing of, she needs to stay focused. Who needs to go? Chloe for sure. I don't know, y'all. Who do you think it's going to be? Bobby and Chloe? Bobby can hit the road, Jack. Bobby and Chloe. That seems to be where it's at. Yeah. I mean, that's what I would say. I think, yeah. But the competition just officially started. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else is well established on doing their thing. So, I want to see Joseph McCrae elevate. I think El Cid usually knows like what the next episode is going to be. I don't know until I get there, but it's time for them to probably have to do something elegant. Do they do the good versus evil every time? Because then Joseph has already done that one. I don't know. I don't know what next week is. The people said that Chloe and Bobby can go. I would agree with that. Jude, I like you, Jude. You're another young one. But if you make another suit, for goodness sakes, do something else. Do something different. Step out of your comfort zone. I feel like somebody needs to take Jude. He's just so reserved and doesn't go anywhere. Somebody, y'all take him out. Let them people have a night out where he can cut loose a little bit. He doesn't cut loose. That's his problem. Jude, I need you to cut loose just a little bit, and see what else you got going on in there, because you could take tailoring to a level of, unseen things. You know what would be a good group pair up is maybe Jude and B, because they're very mathematical. It would be interesting to see what they would be able to do together. But yeah, y'all, the competition, like I said, has officially started. You hope that Jeffrey will stay. He appears to be a very nice person. Jeffrey is a wild card, but Jeffrey is very creative. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's been over there designing for drag queens, and that's all the way over the top. And the only way to kind of come and edit himself down without losing all of his creativity, that's, it's the line, you know what I'm saying, that he's going to need to figure out. And then those fall into to the place of learning how to style, you know what I'm saying? Drag queens are over the top. And so, it's a fine line. And I also think there's nothing wrong with being a costume designer. I think being a costume designer is such an honor, in terms of, you talking about Academy Award winning work. When you look at some of these movies and, the costume designers are brought in, and not on a fantastic level. When I watched, if y'all haven't seen, I'm sure y'all have, because y'all are my people, that movie Shirley Chisholm with Regina King, they were so detailed and going back to the 70s. So I think that these designers need to get it out of their head that I don't want to be a costume designer. I don't know what they think that means, but I think, if that's the lane he should be in, then he's gonna have to run with that. It's fashion over here, so there's a fine line. But yeah, his technical skills are great. He was in El Cid's chat. Yeah, Jeffrey and El Cid have a little thing going on. He be checking to see. I love that though, because it means that they want to hear like what people are really saying in real time. You know what I mean? Any of the criticism coming from me is, it's constructive criticism. And when I say his dress looked like, a statue, a water fountain in a Chinese restaurant, that's what it looked like. But like I said, if he put that on the stage, y'all said he did. He reran the dress or whatever. He did that on the stage with RuPaul. That's a whole different situation. I want to see Joseph McCrae win the unconventional materials challenge. He was sent home unfairly last season. He was, but I feel like he's ready for that one. I feel like he's ready for that one. That is very hard. I had to do that challenge. I had more than a day. However, and that's another thing about last season. All of their stuff, all of their challenges were a group challenge in one day. Like, they were all set up to fail. So given more than a day, you know what I'm saying, you get a chance to at least get your creative juices flowing. If Ethan and Jeffrey could team up, that would be amazing, in your opinion. You talk about do you think they have it paired up? Or maybe they haven't, because Ethan don't need a costume designer. I mean, for Drag Race, I think both of them do that corset work really well. Ethan can grommet the hell out of something. Like, he'll give you a whole grommeted outfit. That is not easy to do. That is really not easy to do. You didn't like what Joseph did last season. Um, I was so on Joseph last season, but I think last season Joseph was not polished. His ideas were there, but his sewing skills were not. And when we see what Joseph is putting out this season so far, clearly he has spent some time, you know, developing his skills. Now, going all the way to tailoring, that's a whole nother set of skills. But he's definitely his fit, his proportions are way better this season. And he's learning to edit down. He definitely has a point of view that's clear. And there's that girl out there. I also think both Joseph and Naeem, their clothing, their style is very androgynous. So, you know, it's for the kids. I would wear those pants though. Yeah, he's improved, I'd like to see what else he can do. And again, he's under the influence of Aaron Potts, who has much respect clearly within the fashion industry based on the places that he's worked. And then he's got this young Naeem who's also a tailor. And what happens is you start learning from each other instead of being an asshole and thinking don't copy me and all of that. That's not what it should be. It should be an opportunity for them to learn from each other. That's how you get better. um You said Joseph left the show to work on himself and his craft, and I am very happy with what I'm seeing so far. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing so far. So, all right, y'all, that's all I got. Um, we'll see what's up next week. Y'all said Chloe and Bobby can go. I would agree with that. I think that's probably how it's gonna go down. What's today, child? It's Saturday night. Saturday night, no party for me. I'm about to take a shower and cuddle up with my pillow and pretend like I'm gonna watch TV. But what's gonna happen is TV will watch me. Naeem's design remind me of a little Bishme. I went on Bishme. Okay, so while we're here, child, I was getting ready to tip out, but I went on his page today and he's got his line out. Now, Bishme has custom designs, and then he's got his little t-shirts or whatever. But the price points on his things that we talk about buying black. Let me see, is it still there? Yeah, we talk about buying black. He's a little pricey. But it's okay because you know what I'm saying? If you're going to spend it over at the Gucci store, you can spend it over here. That's the level where, his collections are. Let's go to shop. Now, I like that bag. I'm not going to lie. That cute little bag, $124. I feel like, see, now he's talking to all of us. You know what I'm saying? I would spend $125 on a Bishme bag. Would you? I would. What happened? Did we leave his child? I have to make sure. Because I'll be looking at the thing and it won't be showing you anything. Yep, that's what I thought. Let's share here. I came over here to talk about Project Runway, but I did want to show y'all this too. You probably already seen it. But I want to go like and see like what is their price points? What are they doing? And again, so how cute is this bag? I definitely, like I said, his is Bishme Chrome Mate or Chrome Matte. It's probably Mate. Isn't that cute? That's reasonable. Yeah, I think so. And then, his custom designs, of course, are going to be a little bit more pricey because, duh, they're custom designs. But he's got hoodie 250. His cap is 65. I feel like that's the prices that you're paying. 125 for this hoodie. That's not bad. I don't feel like, because y'all are over here spending that kind of money on others. We talk about black dollars. He got t-shirts for $99. These are, designer t-shirts. And then when you get into his custom designs, now you want a skirt. This skirt right here is $525. So like I said, if you're shopping with Bishme, it's definitely comparable, to your Gucci's and the things you find in high-end department stores, Neiman Marcus. I think it's reasonable for his Cromartie. Okay. Leave it to me to mess it up. She says, see y'all at Coffee Talk. I'll be there. I'll be there at Coffee Talk. I really like that bag. When it's Christmas time, you know what I'm saying? And you're looking for something to get, your daughter, your niece, your son, if that's what he's into. That's a cute bag for $125. So Bishme is over there doing his thing. He's over in Hollywood, making connections the same way Octavius did over here. So, all right, y'all. That's it. That's all I got. I will be back here next Saturday at 8 o'clock by Nook or by Crook. And see y'all Monday at 10:30, Coffee Talk. See you when I see you. Bye, y'all.